today? Dylan from TD4.2. As usual, it's blowing a gale, so apologise for any of the audio. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there is a big set of clouds, and it's going to be absolutely pissing down very shortly. So I'm trying and pump this out a quick second. Firstly, welcome to the new year. It's now 2022. I've got a lot of things that I'd love to try and do this year with TD4.2 and all the YouTube and the rig itself and everything. So really cool trips, really cool people, cool videos, all that kind of stuff. So really excited for that. So welcome to the new year. I feel right at home right now filming. We've moved out. We're just down the road from the rent property I grew up on forever. And yeah, sort of a bit more domesticated than out here on land, and I'm just not really used to it, and I don't really just don't know how to film and stuff in, yeah, it's just not my vibe anyway. So we're here now, we'll try and pump it out. So anyway, this video, GU starter motor for the TD42. I changed that over, replaced it for new, my old one was busted. So yeah, go ahead, watch the video. It's not really incredibly educational or anything like that, but go ahead, watch the video, and at the end I'll come back and I'll show you exactly what it looks like now that it's all said and done. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. If you have, like, comment, subscribe, all the rest of that bloody nuisance and all the rest of it. And yeah, cheers.
So literally a few weeks ago, started having issues starting the TD. I thought it was the glow plugs to start off with because I could normally get away with double glow on it. I did the tap trick.
Start, you bastard.
Where you smash front into the starter motor, and that normally loosens it all up and gets the solenoid free and gives you some start. So I did that for a fair while, a couple of weeks or whatever. And it's got to the point where it's completely shot. It's not working whatsoever, so went to Patrol Apart and got myself a new starter motor. So this is the Baxter starter motor. So they sell the Baxter ones and the JLEC, I believe it is. These are the aftermarket, so these are high quality aftermarket starter motors. They are not genuine. There's about $200 or $300 difference between the two. They're still genuine products. There's still like a basic warranty on them. So let's see if I can get in there. There it is. There's the other one down there. So I'm not fussed that it's an aftermarket. Starter motor should be fine. It's, like I said, it's come from Patrol Apart. They're really good if something doesn't work straight away. It's a direct bolt into a TD42. So my particular engine for the GU doesn't have any starter relay, just has the starter motor. So obviously when you go into ignition and then turn over to, accessories and turn over to ignition, it automatically switches the solenoid, which starts the starter motor. So it made it pretty easy to find out exactly what was going on with the starter motor. So the next thing you can do is between the solenoid, between this boot here, this one here, this boot here, and this small terminal there. Shorting that out will go, so if you have positive on this and positive to that, you go through the solenoid, which actuates and then operates the starter motor, which will push this gear out with the electromagnet, I believe. So you can see me pulling that out, and then that will obviously actuate the motor, and that will rotate, and that's what spins at a high velocity, which then obviously starts the TD42. So if you were to bridge, so if you're trying to figure out if you've got issues with your starter motor, if you were to bridge these two terminals here, so positive on there to there, then you'll then you'll actuate the solenoid and the motor. So it's important that you have constant positive or common positive on this main stud, because obviously that needs to be constant. If you were just to actuate this terminal here, you'll just be actuating the solenoid. So you won't, you'll only be operating the push out feature of that gear there. You'll only be actuating that coming outwards. So yeah, if that's something to keep in mind, if you're trying to fault find onto your starter motor, that's good place to start. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this one out and put it in the new one, and that should solve our issue. Alright, so as you can see, that's where the starter motor came out of. Try and focus on that. You can see the gear that it actuates, that it rotates so when it actuates, so that's in there. You don't need to put a gasket in or anything. The bell housing gasket down here, you can see that's it's all part of it, so that's fine. It doesn't need replacing. It's always good to have a quick check in there as well, just for any sort of bad stuff or whatever. So this is the best spot to be right at the moment. So I've got the 2 bolts down. You can get from underneath the vehicle, and then the next one is easiest from up here. It's at the top side. So yeah, now I'm just going to pull the actual starter motor out. I just need to disconnect the cabling for it, and then once it's disconnected from that, literally just pull the starter motor out. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, and then matter of getting the new one in there. All right, so got the new starter just below those filters there, ready to go in. Just a matter of chucking it in now. So, alright guys, so it's the next day. I just spent time after work yesterday to pull the old starter motor out. Time to chuck the new one in. So I've got it pretty much in position. It was easier for me to come from the bottom and up, mainly because you got the filters, the oil filters on the left-hand driver's side of the engine for the TD4.2, so it's easier for me to come from the below and pull the starter motor up in between the chassis rails and all the rest of it. So yeah, gonna put it in position now, chuck a couple of bolts in, finger tight, get it all bolted up, and then wire it.
Alright, so the starter motor was replaced. In the previous clips you would have seen that I ripped out the old one and put the new one in. I've got a dirty big cloud coming I'm trying to beat. It's full of water, full of rain, that. So let's have a look under the bonnet. I'll show you exactly what it looks like now. It's just the same thing but shiny than what the OG's ones are, so let's have a look.
Hey guys, so the audio for the video completely buggered itself, so it didn't record any audio from this point onwards, but I'm just gonna live it here. So obviously we can see the starter motor right there, that's the shiny part. Just gonna focus in on it. So it's a bit of a prick obviously because you got the filters right there on top of it, and that is there. So obviously that cable you can see as well, that goes straight to the studs that are on top of the starter motor. So when you undo those bolts, you'll do the top one from the top and then you drop it through the bottom there. So I don't know if I'm about to show you the bolts now, but I mean, it's pretty obvious where the starter motor is now, you can't miss it. But yeah, basically, yep, I'm just pointing towards that the cable. Yep, so the cable goes onto that. And now let's have a look from underneath. All right, so this is the underneath view. As you can see, I've already got a mounting bolt straight at the bottom there. You can see the shininess. Oh, there she is, all in its glory. Look at that. Oh. So clearly, yep, bolt on the bottom there. Oh, I'm even pointing at it, and then there's one, yeah, to the right there, which is only a 3, and then the one on the top, which is pretty easy. So once you put it out there, it comes straight down between the chassis rails or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty good, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching the video. Hope it helped a little bit and will help if you are trying to tackle doing this yourself. Thanks. Oh. Sorry about the audio and lack of videography, but there's my mug, and goodbye. Have a great one.